Welcome to another edition of Chaplain John with Chaplain John Sayers, featuring special reports and interviews with people doing kingdom ministry in Tulare County and beyond. And now, here's Chaplain John.
Hey, this Sunday is going to be Holy Week, Palm Sunday. We follow Jesus in the last week of his life, right up to the cross, which leads us up to a week from Sunday is Easter. And I love living these events, being in these events. And I might do another one of these as we're in Holy Week to give you a little taste of what's going on. And what I want to share now, I've shared before, and probably next time I probably will share it again, because I want to share with you in the Gospel of John, John 11, the event that took place before the big event, which is Holy Week. But before I get to John 11, I want to get into, I think it was in Luke, I want to make sure I got this right, in Luke chapter 10. Yeah, Luke 10. I want to introduce to you two sisters, Mary and Martha, because we're going to meet them in John 11 again. Now, Mary and Martha at the home of Martha's house, and Mary, they're inviting Jesus and the guys over for a meal. They're in the next living room having a meal, sitting around talking to the rabbi. And Martha, maybe you've read that, read it in Luke 10, but Martha's doing all the work. She's doing all the work. And she's going, my gosh, I need some help. Where is my sister Mary? So she goes out into the next room. And she's seeing Mary sitting there with the disciples, just listening to Jesus. Well, my gosh, that ticks Martha off. By the way, I think it might tick some of the disciples off too, because women were not allowed to sit with the rabbi. And so Martha goes, Master, will you tell my sister to get in and help me? There's work to be done. And Jesus looks at Martha and goes, Martha, Martha, this is where she's meant to be right now. And you got to read that event. Martha, Martha, this is where she should be. Well, we don't know anything happens after that event. I got to tell you what I think happens after that event in Luke 10. I think what happens after that event in Luke 10, I think Martha goes, well, if my sister gets to sit here, well, I will too. And so she sits with Mary and the disciples and to learn from Jesus. And I think any time that Jesus was teaching and if Martha was around, she would go and sit and be with Jesus, learn from Jesus. I think that's where her faith started to grow. And I want to tell you why I think that. Because now if you jump into John chapter 11, there is a terrible thing that's happening to Mary and Martha. Their brother Lazarus is sick. He's ill. Martha, I bet it's Martha, because I see her as a very strong-willed woman. But Martha sends for Jesus to come and heal her brother. In fact, Jesus in nearby town, somebody says, oh, Martha sent us, or Martha and Mary sent us, because Lazarus he's not doing well. He's really sick. And Jesus doesn't go right away. Now, if I were one of the disciples, I'd go, didn't you hear that, Jesus? We better go there right away. We've seen Jesus heal anybody, but Jesus doesn't go. And 4 days later, they come back and maybe the same messenger says, oh, Lazarus is asleep. And Jesus says, now he says, let's get up and go. And the disciples say, well, wait a minute. If he's sleeping, he needs rest. We shouldn't disturb him. And Jesus, don't you get it? Lazarus is not asleep. He's dead. And now if I were one of the disciples, I'd go, what's the point of going? He's dead. Should have gone to him when he was alive. He could have healed him. But Jesus and the guys, they go to the home of Martha. Now, Martha and Mary, he's been dead for 4 days now. Lazarus has been. They're in the house weeping, mourning, with other crying. Person comes into the house and says, Mary, Martha, Jesus is out in the courtyard. Martha gets up. She goes to Jesus. Mary stays there crying. But Martha goes to Jesus. And Martha goes, Master, Jesus, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. I don't think she said it that way. I think she's mad. I think she's angry. She may be confused. Oh, she may be in sorrow too. But I think she may have gone this way. If you would have been here when I sent for you, my brother wouldn't have died. She's angry. She's mad. But at least she's going to Jesus. There are a lot of times I get confused. I get mad. I get angry. Things aren't working out the way I think they should work out. But go to Jesus. Let him know how you feel. Martha's going. He says, if you had been here, and Jesus says, Martha, your brother will live again. And Martha goes, I know he will on that resurrection day. Now, how does she know that? Because I think for the last couple of years, she's been sitting with the master, learning from Jesus. I think that's how she knows. Because she says, I know. It's almost like, tell me something I don't know. Yes, I believe he's going to rise in that resurrection day. And Jesus looks at Martha. And he says, Martha, I am the resurrection. I am the resurrection. I am the life. Whoever believes in me will not die. Do you believe that, Martha? Now remember what's going on. Her whole world's caved in on her. Her brother's dead. And she says, do you believe, even if you can't see it, even with all the stuff going around you? I'm when Jesus is saying that to me. Do you believe who I am? That I am the resurrection and life, even when things aren't going your way? Things seem so chaotic now. Do you believe that? And listen to what Martha says. Go back and read that in John 11. It says, yes, I believe. You are the Lord. You are the Christ. You are the one who is to come. I believe. I believe. Martha doesn't know what Jesus is going to do. She doesn't know that Jesus is going to go raise Lazarus from the dead, but she believes. Regardless, she believes. With the whole world caving in, she believes who Jesus is. That's faith. That's the faith of Martha. Where's Mary all this time? Still back in the house crying. Now, I don't want to put Mary down because sometimes I get so lost on crying. I need somebody to come and get me to go to Jesus. And that's exactly what Martha does. She goes and she says, Mary, the master's calling. He's calling your name. He's calling your name. And now Mary goes to Jesus. I think Jesus calls our name, even in our most sorrowful times. The world's caving in. May we go to Jesus. Or Lord, send somebody to help us go to Jesus. Where they have an encounter, you can read about that. Oh, and you go ahead and read about the raising of Lazarus. Oh, powerful. But I don't want you to forget the faith of Martha. The faith. See, that's the little event, not a big event, that takes place before, in John, right before the Jesus riding into Jerusalem on a donkey. I'll talk about that another time. But maybe now, as we prepare for Holy Week, which begins this next Sunday, maybe we ought to, Lord, give us the faith of Martha as we go through Holy Week, go through some very tough times of Jesus' life. Give us the faith of Martha when we're going through tough times right now. Things aren't working the way we think they should work out. This world is getting really wacky, people. You know that. Oh, Lord, Holy Spirit, help us to go to Jesus no matter what we're feeling. And when Jesus says, do you believe in who I am? That I am the life? I am the resurrection and the life? Give us the faith of Martha. And we can say, yes, we believe. You are the Lord. You are the Christ. You are the one who's to come. Faith of Martha. Good way to prepare for Holy Week.